University, Billikens, Rebecca Tillett, 5 in a row. Talk to us.
Yeah, really excited for our women. We talk a lot about staying the course. And if you rewound, right, and went back to our non-conference season, there were some stretches where we really had to stay determined, stay together, and keep getting better every day. Really, really excited for our team's progress on the defensive end tonight. Held them to 30% shooting. I think made them take more threes than they'd like to take. And I think that's a result of, our women. I heard Brooke out there a bunch of times saying, like, we need this one. Like, we need this stop. And just raising her teammates' level of focus on the defensive end. We feel like that's an area that will propel us as we approach the, end of the A-10 regular schedule. And then we want to be a really dangerous team in the tournament.
Offensive efficiency was off the charts in this one. Talk a little bit about the execution on that end of the floor.
Yeah, I thought our women were really patient, looking for the right shots. We thought they might try to keep us out of the paint a little bit, and I think our women were determined that nobody's going to be able to, do that today. And I think that's so much of how you play the game, right? What's your attitude towards what's going to happen next? I thought Julia's 8 assists were really special. I thought Brooke was really determined to score inside on them, and we needed that. Yeah, Peyton from 3, just a lot of contributions. Bree John's 3 that she came in and hit was a big one in terms of where we were in the game. So I mentioned this before, but we had women that didn't play today, Ashley Connor, Belle Tillett, who are providing insight into what needs to happen next in the game and helping teammates in a way that impacts us winning, right? And that's something that's important to our program, is that every person, contributes.
Seen so much growth from the non-conference until now. One of the big things that stood out, some slow starts in the non-conference and some tough end-of-game situations as well. Seems like both of those things have been turned on their head here lately.
Yeah, I think there's a couple things that impact that. One is time together, right? And you can't fast forward that. You need the experience together. And so I think that's helped us a lot. But I also think leadership. I think our leaders are more comfortable speaking up right now and in practice and in games about what's going right and what's not going well and how do we fix it. And doing more of that in the moment as opposed to maybe waiting till the end of practice and sharing it in the circle. We've got people fixing it in the moment. I think that's a big growth step for us.
And with some of those adverse situations that you faced earlier in the year, do you think it's prepared this team better for situations where we saw the Colonials, obviously a team that's not going to just lay down. They punch back multiple times, but this team's able to withstand it.
Yes, I think it's twofold. It's this group, and we've talked about it a ton, this group is positive. That it's just what they do, and never going to take that for granted as a coach, because if you have one negative person in the locker room, it can spread, and we don't have that. So even when things were really, really hard, we didn't have any negativity in the locker room, which gave us the opportunity to stay the course, to keep getting better. And that's not a guarantee on every team, because everybody's got to work to stay in that place. I also think the way that the whole program responded to the tough times in the non-conference mattered. We didn't hang our heads. We didn't get discouraged. We fought again another day. And here we are, reaping those rewards, and we've got a lot left to do.
And talk about that steadiness that this team has been able to really embody. It's one thing to talk about it, but to get all of your players to buy in and actually show it out there on the floor. Tell us how that's really been part of turning this corner.
Yeah, good question. I think, especially in, the kind of 10 players that consistently are playing right now, big minutes for us, there really are vets, with the exception of Ken. And Ken competed in the NCAA tournament. So she had a faster development than a lot of players get, being a point guard on that team, sharing that point guard role. So I think in the beginning of the year, I remember us referencing a lot in practice, like, we have got vets. We've got veterans around here. Let's play like vets. Let's lead like vets. And I think our women are really leaning into that now.
And then moving forward on the road against Richmond, been seeing some more road success. How do you carry this to find some more of that road success?
Yeah, this time of the year, your next game is always your biggest game, right? And Richmond's played the top teams in the league close, beaten some. I think it's going to be a great matchup for both teams. For some of us, that's kind of going back to our area, so we'll be excited about that opportunity to see some of the fans out east as well. But big opportunity for our team.
And one last thing for you, Coach. A huge turnout for Pink Out Breast Cancer Awareness. Talk about that cause and just how much it meant to put on a performance like this and then have the interaction with the fans afterwards.
You know, it's huge. Thank you to the St. Louis community for coming out today. And, you know, anytime we have the opportunity to raise awareness for a cause, and especially breast cancer, that, you know, any person that you meet, we've all been impacted in some way, either by a family member, a friend, or a friend of a friend. It's that widespread. It's that concerning that we raise awareness and that people get, you know, the care and the early detection that they need. So I thought just the turnout, that we had a lot of young kids here today that are hopefully inspired to go play well for their teams or pick up a basketball for the first time. But thank you to everybody that came out today.
For Brooke Flowers, 5 wins in a row. How much fun are you having right now?
I'm having a lot of fun. I think there's a good balance. You know, joy is one of our core values, so definitely enjoying the moment, just enjoying kind of, you know, the culmination of a lot of our hard work and the obstacles that we've overcome together as a team. So yeah, definitely balancing like fun and still, you know, focus, but having that joyful focus coming into games has been really enjoyable. So yeah.
And I would imagine too, Brooke, got to be a wide range of emotions for you, knowing that this is your 5th year and things kind of winding down towards the end of the year, but this team really on track to accomplish their goals at the same time.
Yes, that is funny that you mentioned that. I had that thought earlier today, looking at the scout, the 12th game out of 16 in conference, and I was like, that's 75%. And I was just kind of like, wow, you know, it's kind of comes and goes. So once again, going back to that joy, enjoying every moment, giving everything that I can, and just kind of, you know, seizing all the opportunities that come my way because it is a final go-round.
Well, you're making the most of it right now, Brooke. You had another 4 blocks today. You're the nation's leader in that category. But you've been taking a huge step up on the offensive end as well. Talk about what you've been able to find on that end of the floor.
I think the biggest difference in, you know, the offensive end of the floor for me is just the belief that I feel that my coaches and my teammates have for me, these two especially. You know, Coach Tiff, I feel like all of our point guards, they push me to score. They want to see me score. You know, a lot of people are telling me, be aggressive, you know, score the ball when you get it. That's not usually my first thought, but everybody having that belief in me to be a scoring threat kind of makes me believe more in myself. So.
And not only getting some blocks, you had a couple of really nice steals today as well. And after those steals, you are sprinting the floor, getting up and down, and making yourself another offensive option. Talk about how that's also helped you find your way on that end.
I think that just rising to the challenges that, you know, the coaching staff sets for us, that's a big thing that we feel like we're successful at as a team is transition. So just doing my part and trying to, you know, run to the rim as hard as I can because that's what's being asked of me. So just doing everything I can to help.
And for Kennedy Calhoun, I'll ask you the same thing I asked Brooke. How much fun are you having during this 5-game win streak?
It's amazing, really, to just see our hard work come to fruition. And just being able to display that for the survivors who came to the games, and just everyone who came out to the games today. It was just amazing for it to, transpire, I guess.
And Kennedy, you talked a little bit with me in the postgame on the broadcast about how much it means to you to show other young basketball players, hey, maybe if you aren't the biggest, you can still go out there and be an absolute impact player like you are.
Yes, for sure. I think we're all just inspiring young women, and that's something that we really want to do as young women and young adults, to just inspire that next generation that no matter what, you can do this, and just be a determined person. And I think our coaching staff want us to do that. We want to do that. So it's just a great feeling when you can do that.
And throughout this conference season, you know, we've seen some ups, some downs towards the beginning of the conference season. What's the emotion like now that you're able to experience some of that success and find what you're
Yes, Tilly, she tweeted something the other day, like I said, and it said stay the course. And that's honestly just what we've been doing as a program, as students, as basketball players. No matter what, everybody in our program has stayed the course. Whatever their role is, they've stayed the course and stayed locked in. And so it's just amazing when, honestly, it can come into fruition, like I said.
You hold your opponents to 30% shooting. Talk about the collective team effort on the defensive end in this game.
You know, I just think it was a toughness thing for us, right? We said that, okay, you met the St. Louis that can score at a really high clip, but you also met the St. Louis that's going to come down and defend you, and is going to defend you well, and is going to defend you and make you take contested shots. And I think everyone had that mindset, so it was great.
Where's your motivation level for these last few games headed into the conference tournament now?
Right. You know, Coach Tillett talked a lot about, we want to build that momentum. And so just knowing that we have that momentum and just using that and not deferring to the beginning of our season or the beginning of the conference, but rather this momentum that we are building. So,
Kennedy Calhoun, Brooke Flowers, Rebecca Tillett, thank you all so much.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Colin.
Hold on, kid, because I might never